The show, folks. Sorry to keep you waiting. We're listening to Colonel Danny McKnight tell us about one of his encounters in Somalia. Welcome back to the show. You are listening to the American Adversaries. We're coming to you live on FM 105.5 and AM 660. The answer, 407-774-8255 is the number. We'll go to the phone calls now. Let's start with Aubrey Kahn. Aubrey, sorry you couldn't be in the studio tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry, too. I had 3 inspections today. I'm bushed. I'm heading home.
I hear you.
Why don't you stop by for a drink, Audrey, at the meeting? No.
Yeah, I still got work to do. I've got about 6 hours of work ahead of me still.
Oh,
no
Aubrey, wine.
Wine is good. Yeah, I like it. It's good Cabernet.
All right, anyway, go ahead. Thanks.
Well, firstly, it's good to hear Colonel Dan on the line again, and Hacksaw, I've never met you, but one of these days.
Well, thank you.
You know, I have a slight disagreement with what Colonel Danny said regarding those in Washington.
And?
I don't think that they're unaware of the solution to the problem. They're doing this on purpose. They're encouraging these gun-free zones because if they get enough of these mass shootings, there will be enough of an outcry, and the Dems will get in and be able to sweep in and do their best to get rid of the Second Amendment so that they can rule over the populace without fear of reprisals.
Well, Aubrey, let me get the Colonel to respond to that. Were you just nodding your head, Colonel?
Well, the one thing, though, that I was being too nice when I talked about the people up there and their decision-making, Aubrey, I agree. But I will tell you this, what I am concerned about, and this is a realistic thought, believe me. You ever heard of martial law?
Yep.
You heard of martial law?
I'm very concerned about that.
And you know, when martial law happens and the guy that's in office declares that martial law for our country, do you know that he can be extended then in office as the President of the United States because of martial law? And see, that's what I think we're heading to if we don't stop it very, very soon.
Well, if he can confiscate all guns from the legal gun owners, because most legal gun owners are law-abiding people.
That's correct.
Yeah,
and it's only law-abiding people that will obey the law.
Yeah, well, if it comes to martial law, I think there's going to be a whole lot more that won't qualify so much as law-abiding people because they won't be willing to give up their guns. Aubrey, I got to let you go, though. I got other callers. Thanks so much.
Great evening.
Take care, Aubrey.
God bless.
Excellent points. Excellent points. Diane, you're up next. Thanks for calling.
Hey, about this shooting people, they said that they were white people, but everybody else said they were wearing ski masks. So how do they know?
Yeah, you're right. I failed to report that they said that they were wearing masks. They appeared to have body armor on, and it appears as though they escaped in a planned escape, like Hacksaw said, in a black SUV.
Right.
So, yeah.
Chris, I heard that too, and just like Diane said, this is typical what goes on. They immediately say it's white, and then all of a sudden they go quiet, and then it evolves to whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, what a game that is played by the media.
Yeah.
And they did say that they shot up a conference room where they were, and they won't say who was holding the conference or why.
Yeah. And once again, folks, we're talking about there's just been a shooting today in San Bernardino, California at a social services complex, and there's been a number of casualties. There are fatalities. We don't know the totals of either, though. It's perhaps about a couple of dozen casualties. Out of that, we don't know the fatalities. But evidently, they did not capture or kill the perpetrators yet, so we do not know anything really about them other than the MO of the crime itself, of the terrorist act itself. And that is that it appears to be at least 2, perhaps 3 shooters using AK-47s, perhaps wearing body armor and masks, and escaped in a black SUV and probably headed south to the border because, of course, San Bernardino isn't all that far from the Mexican border down there. All right, thank you for the update, Diane. Appreciate that. All right, we'll go next to John. John, thank you for calling.
Hey, guys.
Howdy.
Hey, Danny.
Yes.
You never have to excuse yourself for your language, man. You're Dan McKnight, man.
It just sometimes comes out, you know.
Well, you know what?
He hasn't heard me talking on the air sometimes either, I guess. Anyway, go ahead, John.
Well, I got a couple things. Number one, there was somebody on Michael Medved that thought that we should start arming a militia. I would hate to be in a situation, an active shooter situation in a building, and get caught in civilian crossfire and get shot by a friendly. What I think we may need to do, though, I had talked to you earlier about relatives that were in L.A. during the Watts riots, and then again during the Rodney King riots, and one of the officers there was talking about how.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you. I'm gonna have to ask you to speed it up because I'm coming up on a hard break.
Oh, okay. Basically, what I was saying is that we probably need to start training security forces with all kinds of anticipated scenarios so that they're well armed.
Okay, I'll have the colonel respond to that after the break, and then you also wanted to make a point about NFL stadiums.
Well, yeah, but let me tell you this real quick. We were listening to President Obama about the big global climate change thing, and as I was explaining to my grandson, he's about 4 years old, about global warming and all that, he says, "Grandpa, why don't they just make the adjustment on their thermostat?"